Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning, I'm Orchid Solang, and this is your news to 10:30. A massive power outage is happening in the Lower Mainland, south of the Fraser River. BC Hydro says a major transmission circuit failure is affecting customers in Langley Township, Maple Ridge, Surrey, and Abbotsford. They add that crews are currently working to restore power to around 20,000 customers and are working as quickly and safely as possible. Two men in their 20s are serving prison time after pleading guilty to gun-related offenses from a Coquitlam shooting back in 2022. Coquitlam RCMP say officers responded to reports of shots being fired near Clark Road and Hobbs Way in June of that year. Investigators identified the suspects as 20-year-old Mohammed Amin Hidari and 29-year-old Joshua James Michael Hall. Police say Hidari was sentenced to 72 months in prison last May after pleading guilty to multiple offenses. Hall was given a 12-month sentence after pleading guilty to one count of possessing ammunition. BC is set to welcome a new chief electoral officer with Anton Begman's term coming to an end. Shipra Verma, former chief electoral officer of Manitoba, has been recommended by the Legislative Assembly to be appointed to the role. This follows a unanimous recommendation by a parliamentary committee, a group composed of government and opposition members. Verma's term in BC will start on November 12th, following her appointment by the Lieutenant Governor. MLA Janet Rutledge, who chaired the committee that filed the role, says officials were impressed by Verma's dedication to promoting voter turnout. Joining us now to talk about her upcoming story is reporter Gabby Roy. How are you, Gabby?
I'm good.
Awesome. So your story is about a big donation made to the Richmond Public Library. How will it shed light on this surprising achievement?
So my news story is going to shed light on this in a very interesting way because it's not every day that you hear about someone donating over 100,000 books to the library. And I'm planning to interview some library staff members on their thoughts on the matter and what kind of books were donated. I heard that all the books were in Chinese because the person who donated them, Kwok Chu Lee, was Chinese, and he was very passionate about education and lifelong learning.
Nice. So how can this help the local community as well?
This outstanding donation can help the local community because a lot of people, especially kids, can benefit from such a great amount of books. Also, Richmond has a really big Chinese population, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this specifically. Because of these donations, the library is known to be the most reliable source for Chinese books all across Greater Vancouver.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it in the next cast. That was our reporter, Gabby Roy. Thanks for joining us, Gabby. Now, for your national news, Prime Minister Mark Carney says building up port infrastructure and natural resource development projects will be key to ramping up exports to countries other than the U.S. Carney says he's aiming to double Canada's non-U.S. exports within a decade.
Creating capacity so we can export more, you got to do that in order to have it happen. As I say, you'll see more on that. Then what are we exporting more of? It can be critical minerals from the Ring of Fire and building that up. We're working closely in terms of unlocking that enormous potential that is here. It's manufacturing capability that comes here.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says Carney needs to commit to supporting an oil pipeline to the Pacific. He says it's something that would significantly boost resource exports to the markets outside of the U.S. Toys R Us Canada has notified customers of a data breach that they say may have compromised their personal information. Canadian press reporter Lisa Laporte says the retailer sent an email to customers today with details.
The toy store says it learned on July 30th that someone had posted information on the deep web they claim to have stolen from the business's databases. Third-party cybersecurity experts hired to investigate the incident eventually confirmed the records had been copied by an unauthorized third party. The company says the breached records may include the names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers of customers.
Toys R Us says no passwords, credit card details, or similar confidential data was involved in the data breach. Now for your weather update. Today we have a high of 15 and a low of 12. It's cloudy this morning and will remain that way well into the afternoon and evening. Be prepared for rain later today with a drizzle expected around 4. That's all for your 10:30 news, and thanks for tuning in. Oh my God.
It's your career, your vision, your goal. Navigate it your way. Flexible learning is designed for you. Learn a new skill or earn a degree at your own pace. BCIT, flexible learning for a complex world.